fellow Guardians. My name is MrDysprosium. In light of recent news that Destiny 2 is coming to PC, I decided that I really just want to help as many of you that are looking to make the switch over to PC. I want to make it as easy for you as possible. I don't want to start a console war, flame war, whatever PC master race. I'm a PC player. I'm very excited that Destiny is coming to PC. And I just want to help those of you who have questions and concerns about building your first computer. I want to make that a bit easier for you. So the way this will work is you basically come to me with whatever you need. I will help you pick parts out. I will help you get the price of a computer down. I will help you meet whatever settings you're looking to meet. And I'll even go as far as having you send the parts to me, and I will build the computer for you completely and install Windows on it and all that and ship it back to you. You just have to cover the shipping costs. I posted on Reddit not too long ago a similar offer, and I had about 50 or so people take me up on it. No one sent me a computer yet, which is fine. I don't have too much time, but I figured that I could build a computer a day if it needed to be. I'm just putting that out there. You guys can send me whatever requests and questions you have, and as long as you're a Destiny player, just hit me up on YouTube or Reddit. I will post all of my information down below in the description, and I am here to help you. Now, if you're going to stick around, I'm going to start talking about some builds that I've put together ahead of time. I have a low, medium, and high-end build, and we're going to talk about those. And basically, as the video goes on, it'll get more technical. So if you're not here to learn and you just want to find a computer and get it built, then I've got tons of information down in the description below, and if you have questions, just go ahead and ask. For those of you that want a little bit more information, just stick around. Thanks. All right, to get started here, we are going to look at our low-end build. Now, don't be alarmed at the use of term low-end. This is relative to the builds that I'm using. All of these machines will be able to run whatever game you want to play. It's just a matter of how enthusiastic you are about it, okay? So here, this build is $566, so pretty comparable to a next-generation computer. Keep in mind that this does not come with a monitor, but this is assuming that you already have some sort of monitor or TV or whatever you play your Xbox or PS4 on currently. So if you need to add a monitor, just keep in mind a monitor might be $100 to $150 if you're not going overboard. So anyway, what we've got here is a DIY build from Newegg. So you've got pre-built machines which are a little bit more expensive, but Newegg offers these deals where they have all the parts already put together, not put together, but already bundled. And you save a little bit of money. You see here it's like $54.95, whatever that you're saving, according to Newegg. But this machine's actually pretty good for sub $600, okay? So we've got an i5 6500, which is a good i5. It's 3.2 gigahertz, 4 cores, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good processor. That's a comparable processor to anyone else that you're gonna talk to. If anybody else has an i7 6770 or whatever, a much faster processor, in reality, you're both going to be playing the same game. You're going to both enjoy it equally. He might be getting triple the frames that you're getting, but once you get past 60 FPS, you're just kind of milking it a little bit. So anyway, it also comes with a 1060, which is a pretty high-end graphics card. This graphics card came out in the last year or so. It's a good graphics card. It's on the lower end of the 1000 GTX series, but it is more than enough to play a game like, say, Overwatch. Overwatch is kind of like the golden standard these days. If you can run Overwatch, you're really going to be able to run anything. You might not be able to run it on the absolute highest settings at 4K at 120 FPS. That's not really what we're looking for at a $600 machine, are we? So anyway, it's got a 430 watt power supply, which is enough for you for this build. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. If that's not enough for you, if you're running multiple tabs of Chrome, then you might need to double this, get 16 gigs of RAM. That's fine. That's expandable. You can do that later if you get another $50 and you decide, you know what? I don't have enough RAM. Okay, then go ahead and do it. And then finally, it comes with a 120 gig SSD, okay? So 120 gigs is just, frankly, not enough, but this is a good start, okay? It's good to install your operating system on a solid state drive, the where you're gonna boot from. It's gonna be the fastest hard drive in your computer. You might as well be booting from it. It just makes sense. It's fine. So if you find that you need more space, just kind of like what you would do with an Xbox, you buy another hard drive. and hard drives are cheap, you can get a 1 terabyte, not solid state drive, but a 1 terabyte drive for about $50. And you just plug that in as your secondary drive, and now you have a terabyte more of data. And then you can pick which games you install in the solid state drive versus which ones you install on the terabyte. See, I actually, on this machine, I've got my 250 gig boot drive here. This is solid state. But then these 3 drives here, this 2 terabyte, 2 terabyte, and 1 terabyte, they're all just spinning disks. And they don't need to be fast because these are the drives that I install, like Diablo and WoW, and this is where I dump all of my raw video too. So you don't really need to worry about, using a solid state drive for storing video. It's kind of counterproductive. Anyway, and then all this comes in a nice, cheap, little mid-tower case. And that's fine. Actually, this is a mini case. This is actually small, so it's not going to take up a whole lot of space. By the way, don't ever spend more money on a case than you need to. There are people out there that buy like the super sexy cases that look like an alien or like a cube that came out of like Space Odyssey 2001 or something like that. They're children. Don't be like them. Showing off how sexy your computer is by putting it in a flashy case with a bunch of LEDs and fans that don't do anything is childish. Don't do it. Just save your money. Save up for that 1080. You don't need to be doing that. So anyway, this is the low-end machine. And again, don't be afraid of the term low-end that I'm throwing around. This is relative. This is the lowest of the 3 machines I'm going to be showing. But if you put the $600 into this computer, you will have a machine that can play any game that is out today. And I'm sure any game that will be coming out in the next 5 years. Okay, now for our middle-of-the-road build. Right here, we've got it. It's $800, and this one's pretty easy. The only real difference between this build and the last build is the fact that we're using a 1070 NVIDIA card rather than the last build, which was using a 1060 build. Okay, so if you're new to the whole computer scene, the naming convention for anything is kind of confusing. So NVIDIA has the 1000 series of graphics cards right now. And they usually go by the 50, 60, 70, and 80. So they're on the 10 series right now. So there's a 1050, a 1060, a 1070, and a 1080, and now a 1080 Ti. I know, it's a little confusing, but that's their naming convention. It's no different than cars, right? You've got an F-150, an F-250, an F-350. These are trucks, if you don't know. Anyway, the whole point of this is that the $200 difference between this computer and the cheaper $600 computer is pretty much solely based on the fact that we're upgrading the 1060 up to a 1070, which is about $380 alone, more expensive than the processor. This may seem a little surprising to you, but it shouldn't. This is normal in the PC gaming community. Graphics cards are usually much more expensive than processors. They're a little bit more sought after than a processor, although they share about equal load. So anyway, the 1070 is going to push you over into like the enthusiastic realm. You're going to get more than 60 FPS. You're going to be able to max a lot of settings. You're going to be able to probably max all of the settings in Overwatch and Destiny 2. I'm assuming Destiny 2 is going to be in the same realm as Overwatch because, like I said earlier, Overwatch is pretty much what every game is going for in terms of system requirements. So this build here, this $800 build, is going to absolutely max out the settings for Destiny and give you at least 60 FPS. This is going to be a smooth ride. This is going to give you everything that you absolutely need. You will play the game the way it's meant to be played, and you'll be able to play any other game out there the way it's meant to be played. As long as you're not trying to do something crazy like triple monitors at 4K, well, 4x3, so that's 12K, at 122 FPS, whatever, that nonsense. Let me just take a look. This is still in a mini tower, so it's not going to take up a whole lot of space. Let's look at the tower. Right, still not anything fancy. It's probably the same build as last time. Just a nice, slender, little tower, nothing flashy. That's what you want. That's the sign of being an adult. What else have we got? And still 120 gig SSD for the drive, which, again, if you find out that's not enough space, and you probably will, you can upgrade to a larger hard drive. And this doesn't mean replacing the hard drive. This means adding it in. And when that time comes, just give me a ring. Send me a message. hit me up on Reddit. I will help you add that in, and I will explain it all to you. It's very simple. So that's about it for the middle of the road build. Let me know if you've got any questions about this, and we're going to move on to the high-end build. All right, here we are, the high-end build. You'll notice I'm no longer on Newegg. I'm on PC Part Picker. It's because none of the DIY builds that Newegg offered really kind of fit the theme of a high-end build. So here I am. I put one together myself. So if you're still here and you were kind of thinking about buying something kind of cheap and just kind of curious about what the high-end build was, the $800 build was the high-end build. Okay? Okay, good. So the build I have here is $1,700. And that's because this is as about high as you can go. Okay? You don't have to do this. Don't feel inclined to do this. Don't let this scare you. You don't need to spend $2,000 to play PC games, okay? I almost don't want to do this. Because, like, that's what most console gamers say about PC games. Like, well, I don't have $4,000 to play your stupid PC games. Well, you don't have to. As I've shown, you only need about $600, okay? Which is comparable to a modern-day console. Okay, so anyway, if you have the money, if you have a full-time job and you're married and you're stable, or your parents voted for Trump, whatever, you've got the money for this, so do it, okay? So this is what I put together. This is an i7 6700K, 4 gigahertz, and it's a quad-core processor, but if memory serves me, it's 8 logical cores, which... whatever, it's $320, but this is about as high of a processor as you can get. Followed up with it is a liquid cooler. For anyone who's still here, if you are building the earlier machines, I still recommend a liquid cooler. Not just because of its efficiency, but they're $70 now, they're self-contained, and they are so quiet. And the nice thing about it is, you don't have this giant radiator sucking up all this dust in the middle of your build. In fact, on top of your processor, you have like this 2-inch tall little disc, and it looks so sleek and wonderful, and it's so easy to clean. Whatever. I highly, highly, highly recommend liquid-cooled processors everywhere. Specifically since they're now like $70, and you don't have to clean them. They're just self-contained. You just plug them in like you do any other processor. I'm sorry, heatsink. Anyway, we have your regular MSI motherboard. I should say, by the way, that no one is paying me. Like, I'm not being paid by MSI or Nvidia or Intel. These are just personal preferences, okay? And if you're still here and you are foaming at the mouth because you just hate what processor I picked, or I'm just such an idiot for saying that I should be using this RAM, that's fine. Let me know, actually. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you would replace in any of these builds to make them better. You are only helping all of us by proving me wrong. I don't have the ego to say that you're wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. So please, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, your standard run-of-the-mill motherboard, it will fit this processor just fine. It will also allow this RAM 32 gigs of DDR4 2666 memory RAM. That's very fast RAM. That's DDR4 RAM. It's the latest and greatest. It's the latest and greatest. Anyway, 32 gigs of it. That's about as much as you're ever going to want. Okay, hold on. Ever as in the next 5 years. Okay, so don't quote me on ever. I'm sorry that I said it. Here we've got a 7200 RPM 1 terabyte drive. I thought I had in here a solid state drive. I will put it back in, but I will also put in here a 120 gig solid state drive, 128 gig solid state drive, but you don't need it, but it's nice to boot off of. Anyway, I've got the 1080 Ti Founder Edition. That's a $700 card. I know, big, scary, but I have this card, and I can run Doom 2016 at 120 FPS minimum on all 3 of my monitors at the same time. It's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. It's what the people over in PC Master Race are foaming at the mouth about. It's wonderful. But, like I said earlier, not necessary. Anyway, I've got this case here. This is getting close to the hey, that case makes you look like you're 15 years old at a LAN party. I know, but NZXT cases are very nice, very easy to work with, and I think you'll appreciate it once you start building your computer and you have an NZXT case. Again, I'm not being paid by any of these people. None of this is sponsored. This is all personal preference. And then we've got a 650 watt power supply. It will be fine. It will fit your case. And then last but not least, Windows 10. So there you have it. That is a $1,700 build that will pretty much run everything that you will ever need to run until, I don't know, they're going to have to come out with like biological chips to replace a computer like this. Some super major breakthrough in technology is going to have to happen before a computer like this is replaced. So that's about it. That's pretty much all I've got to show. If you've got any questions or any comments, please let me know on Reddit or on the comments of this video. My Reddit username will be posted in the description. It is just MrDysprosium, no spaces. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you think. And if you've got questions or if you want help, I am here for you. I am here because I want you to be able to enjoy Destiny 2 on PC. It is going to be absolutely wonderful. It's going to be so wonderful not having to worry about, you know, the menu structure of the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's going to be so wonderful to be able to use Discord to communicate with your squad mates when you're doing a raid or a strike. It's just going to make things so much easier. Mouse and keyboard. It's wonderful. But that doesn't mean that people who are going to be playing on the PS4 and Xbox One are subpar. They are just fine. I've been playing Destiny on my PS4 for 3 years now, and I've been pretty happy about it. But I'm just happy it's coming to PC, that's all. So anyway, like I said, any questions, any comments, if you want my help, send me a message. I will do anything it takes to get you to play on PC. I will help you build that machine. I will even put it together for you if you don't feel like you can do it yourself. But you can all do it yourself. If you buy the parts, you get them at your house, and you are overwhelmed all of a sudden, I will Skype you. I've got a webcam. We will do it together. If you've got errors trying to boot up, you will get that webcam out, you will point it at the computer, and I will tell you what's wrong. I will get you up and running. I guarantee it. I promise you that I will do everything that I can to make the transition from console to PC as easy as possible. That is my promise. The Destiny community means a lot to me. Destiny has just taken me out of just this slump that I was in. I've met so many friends. My wife and I play Destiny every day. It is just a wonderful game, and the fact that it's coming to my favorite platform, I was jumping in joy when that announcement came. So anyway, that's about it for me today, guys. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. My name is MrDysprosium. Have a great night. Thanks.